Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a good Saturday. It sure is hot here. Trying to get the hay mowed, finished mowing, and the boys are taking care of that. I've got my tractor, one I bail with, still down. Still waiting on parts of the air conditioning unit, and of course they're using their new tractor and their new Kubota. So I get to rest a while. But they'll take care of it. But you know what? I'm gonna tell you what. Common sense evidently has took a back door in this country. I mean, it's just friggin' ridiculous. Now you've got Tulsi Gabbard come out and release the secret files on all of the labs all around the world, gain of function. You know, Dr. Fauci's lies, the government lies. I mean, the COVID scam. Evidently, it was released on the world. Evidently, they're trying to get rid of us, and it wasn't nothing but a big scam. Right on down to the old jab, they have absolutely killed more people than they've helped. I mean, it was a scam. To me, I believe all these companies that was forced their employees to take that junk, and now people are sick and dying, should be held responsible. But they made it where the government made it where they wouldn't be held responsible. They made it where the drug companies wouldn't be held responsible. You couldn't sue them. These congressmen and senators on both sides are corrupt. And you've got us, the people, sitting down and taking it up the rear end. How's your democratic affordability here in Virginia, California, Chicago, all these places where these left-wing nuts have took over? New York, New Jersey, all these places. Everywhere these Democratic governors and mayors and whatever are taking control, they're turning their state, their cities into pure old plain shitholes. The Democratic Party is good at race baiting. You got the Southern Poverty Law Center there. It's come out that if they couldn't find racism, they was funded it to make it up. I mean, nothing but money, corruption. And we, the people, sit in our little houses and complain about higher taxes, regulations, and we vote for the same old people over and over and over. Nobody gets, Google's at your fingertips anymore. 99% of the people have got it. But they refuse to do that. You put in little camps, right, left, independent, or just don't give a shit and don't vote or whatever. That's the problem. People don't care no more. They want somebody else to do their battle for you. Well, it's coming to your front door, whether you like it or not. The first people that complain is the one that said, I don't vote. They're the first ones to complain about a higher tax, regulation, gun control, whatever. They're the first ones to complain. And the Democratic Party scare these people, these inner cities, to death when they claim they're going to take their benefits from them. To vote blue now, they've got their own voting party, the illegal aliens, and they're cheating left and right. They're using mail-in ballots. We're going to lose this country if we don't get up off our hind end and demand the SAVE Act. Demand that you be a legal citizen of the United States to vote. And you should be a natural born citizen to run for office in this country, right on down to your dog catcher. We're losing the battle, people. You know, I don't agree with everything that President Trump does by far, but I agree with the policies he's trying to implement. There's some things I just don't agree with him on. You know, I think he's more concerned with stock market people, you know, the higher echelons than he is Main Street people. You know, he's more Wall Street people. He looks at it a different view. As long as Wall Street people are surviving, then the rest of us will too. But Main Street is in bad trouble. Hopefully, with the peace treaty will be signed tomorrow, and gas prices will continue to come on down. Food prices, and there's a little bit of price fixing that's not been addressed in this country. But see, that's where Congress don't want to do nothing about it. These Democrats, they want higher gas prices. They want higher food costs because they can run on it to gain their power back. It's all just a shell game to these politicians. They don't care if me and you can pay your light bill or not. That's like Governor Spanberger out sneaking around these universities, taking conservatives off the boards and replacing with all this progressive liberal junk, these people on there, to change our education system, our higher learning, to be able to indoctrinate your kids even more. It's all a big political game that they use to make sure that the next generation is more liberal than the last generation, that they can control. And these data centers is nothing but control. It's all control. It's about control. Right now, AI, a surgeon could get on AI and ask a surgical question right down to the microscopic whatever and get an answer. The data centers are about collecting all over your mind, keep an eye on you, tracking you. That's why they want the data centers. It's about control, controlling the people. The new vehicles is an example. They've got to have these big data centers to be able to control where you go, cut your motor off if they don't like what you're doing. If you go to the grocery store and they decide they don't want you buying a milkshake or candy or whatever, they can stop your purchase. It's about control. You better wake up, people in this country, and start voting and start putting candidates up that are American first. Or people, let's just say people first. You know, we're put in political parties like in little cults. They holler the far right, the far left, in the middle, on the fringes. And nothing showed what can happen is when they installed Joe Biden. He didn't know where he shit last. Who knows who all was running the government? Obama, probably. But you see what they tried to do. They tried to take your First Amendment away. They got into social media. If they had them banned, give people strikes, take them off YouTube, take them off Facebook, take them off Instagram, take them off Twitter, cancel you if you said anything about COVID, said anything about the jab. You had a conservative Christian view. If you was a Christian, you was considered some kind of terrorist. They went after parents at school board meetings in Loudon, Virginia. You was considered a domestic terrorist if you wanted to fight for your child. If they put a boy wanted to be a girl in the bathroom and he raped your child, and you got arrested when you went to the school board meeting to protest, the father got arrested. And nothing has really changed. They're just asleep. They're just sending their people out to protest, paid protest. Yeah, they had Act Blue up there the other day, where they gained all the money. You had USAID showed corruption. But what did they want to talk about? Epstein list. What did most people want to talk about? The Epstein list. They wasn't worried about USAID. And these radical judges are trying to stop President Trump from uncovering and Elon Musk from uncovering the corruption in the government. No, it was Epstein list. Epstein list. Of course he was a pervert. But the priorities, how the people can be swayed in this country by news clips, mainstream media. Thank God for independent media on social media, because they're way above anything that the mainstream media has got. You look at Nick Shirley in California and put a bill up to stop him from investigating independent journals. If he found fraud, then they had a law there that they could arrest him for reporting on corruption. Now, ain't that some stuff? You see where these Democrats are going? They took their playbook is out of the Nazi playbook, 1939 Germany, and they're using it. Nothing but corruption, and it's on both parties. And people ain't got enough common sense anymore to get in out of the rain. I can't figure why people can't see it. But you see it on social media. You get on Facebook, you say something. If way now spell check, evidently they don't understand Southern, changes your words. You've got the spell police on there, or the grammar police, who evidently don't understand Southern speak. But that's all for another thing. But you know what I mean. People are so ignorant, or they just don't give a shit, or they want somebody else to do their fighting for them. Going with the population of some of these counties, people are sitting on their hind end, not getting out and voting. Your forefathers went over across the water, and a lot of them are laying in foreign soil and not coming back home, fight and died, so you can get up and go. You're hind end and get up and go vote, but you won't do it. You're afraid you'll be called for jury duty, or it's just too much of your time to go vote. But you're the first ones to complain. You're the very first ones to complain and go, oh, Trump is a Trump this, Trump that, and Trump that, and they don't even go vote. They're too sorry to get up and go vote. And they're the very first ones to complain. I mean, people don't watch these videos on there, no way. That's what I'm going to do. But hopefully one or two will. And maybe have a gumption to talk to their friends and neighbors, and get people more involved in what's going on in this country. We're going to lose it. People got the idea when they looked at President Trump, well, it's over. He wave his magic wand, he can do all things. Well, no, there's Congress and the Senate there with a bunch of corrupt politicians sitting down there voting for themselves. Look at Major Taylor Greene. Now she's starting a big podcast going on there. She fought for Trump before she fought against Trump. I mean, it's nothing but money. Money. They take money. Some of these politicians ain't nothing but they're political prostitutes. That's exactly what they are. They're political prostitutes. They're in there for their family and for their kids to never have to work another day or get a big cushy job. They ain't working. No, it just got a title. They get a big paycheck because their daddy and mommy is a politician and they can get influence. Like Hunter Biden. It ain't nothing but it's just a money racket. And common sense has really took a back door in this country. I can't figure it out. People ain't got enough common sense to get out of the rain. Really, it just mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. And I'm just sick of being put in groups, and you got these hardcore leftists, and you've got some hardcore right wing. They're nuts too. I mean, they march in the streets for Palestine, run Jewish kids down the street, down the hallways of universities. Universities take terrorist money to indoctrinate your kids, and people send them up to college to learn what? Basket weaving. They get out of school, and where are they working at? McDonald's, Burger King, some little store inside a little strip mall. The degree they got ain't worth the paper it's wrote on. Nobody prepares no more. I just don't know. I just don't know. All these plagues and stuffs are coming up on ticks, flies, screwworm, diseases from ticks that causes alpha-gal, where you can't eat red meat. You got Bill Gates, you got these people hollering you not eat red meat, and here comes the ticks. So I don't know. And here he is engineering ticks to do something other that he's bragging about, that he gives so many millions of dollars to. And he was right in there on some of this gain of function. Dr. Fauci should face real bad charges. Where's Rand Paul at now? These people are fake. We got to get rid of these people in Congress and the Senate, right? And your local state Senate. You know, Louise Lucas, the president of the Senate in Virginia, after the redistricting vote failed, she said, you need to get rid of Southwest Virginia. Well, we really would like to go and become part of Tennessee or another. We would gladly go. But you know, said Virginia would be a real state without Southwest Virginia. Now that's what she said. You know, she's pushing. She's got these marijuana stores, or whatever that's what they are, marijuana stores, and she's putting bill up to legalize marijuana. Conflict, you see what I mean? These politicians got their hands behind the scene in everything. The stock market, they make millions, and then they raise the taxes up on you and me to pay for their whatever little project they got their little schemes on to make them money. And they run on affordability. And then Spanberger puts us back in the carbon tax deal to raise your light bills. That's affordability. And you know, they put these data centers up with they destroy the water system and the heat off them things up in the heating the atmosphere, and then they at the same breath, they holler, well, cow farts. It's cow farts. That's a cause. Get rid of cattle, cow farts. Get rid of agriculture. That tractor's it's too much in the environment. When all these cities are pumping out the biggest methane in their landfills, you never hear them talking about the pavement in these big cities, the heat. You never hear about the waste from these big cities, how it destroys the environment, do you? It's all farming, milk cow, bird flu, killed chickens, turkeys. It's all a forest. It's all a forest. It's for though they can have more power. They want you in those 15-minute cities. You better wake up, people. You're headed for a 15-minute city. I got to get off here. This video is too long. Nobody won't watch it. They might watch 2 minutes of it, maybe, and they're gone. So I ain't going to waste more of my breath. Save more maybe the next video. I want to say to Celebrating Farm Life, we'll all be here when you get back. They've got some family issues, and everybody pray for Bill and Mikey and Bill's dad, and I'm sure saying a prayer for you. May the good Lord heal him, and that being said, the good Lord willing, I'll see you next time, and God bless each and every one of you, and people stand up and let's take this country back. Let's take it back from the dog catcher right on up to the halls of Congress and the Senate. Let's get these people out of office and let's replace them with people, real people, people who want to make America great again. Low taxes, freedom, freedom of speech, freedom to worship, freedom to get on here and say that you believe in Jesus Christ and not be afraid to say it. Not be attacked by some Muslim group. You know, they got freedom too, but they get more freedom than the man that carries the Bible. If they get the Quran, they get more freedom to walk down the street with their Quran than you do the Bible. America was built under God. This country was founded under God. So, like I said, the good Lord willing, I'll see you next time. God bless each and every one of you, and I'll continue on with my evening and get my chores done. God bless.